Hey everybody, it's Val.
And it's Michelle.
And welcome to the Wine Down. Hey family, what's going on today?
What's up, y'all? Woo!
All right, so we had self-care and we binged on Behind Her Eyes. Woo! Chow. Let me just tell you. What you think, Michelle? What did you think?
I think before we even get into it, we need a little libation. What are you having?
All right, I am drinking. I'm not trying. I am drinking Gruet. It is a sparkling from New Mexico. The flavors are, it's green apple, it's citrus, it's crisp. It has a little touch of yeast in there, and I love it.
Okay, I'm doing some Baresh Ipi champagne. And this has a 92 rating. Nutty, fresh, fruity, delicious. Delicious.
So I just noticed you showed your bottle, and I didn't do that.
Because I care. I want the people to see.
It doesn't matter, but I'll show it later to you guys. I'll show it later.
It don't matter.
Here. Cheers, honey.
Cheers, my love. Cheers.
All right.
So wait, are you getting any of your tasting notes?
Yeah, the citrus I am tasting, and it's so crisp. I taste a little bit of that, like green apple in there, but it has a long finish. What about you?
I am getting I get some nut, and I do get the fruity, but it's also chewy for me. Like it's definitely like it's still, I've already swallowed, and it's still like I can still feel it, like the remnants in the back of my throat. Long finish. All right, enough with the pleasantry.
Let me just say, mine from Wine Spectator, it had a 90-point rating. What's yours?
Mine is 92. Boom. Okay. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, cheers.
That doesn't matter. They're both delicious.
They're great, and they're in the 90s.
They're both great. Yeah. There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
So wait a second.
Yes.
Before we even get into this thing,
yeah.
Spoiler alerts. You hear me? We spoiler alert, and don't watch this if you don't want no spoiler alerts. We're gonna be talking about this show.
Okay. So I think, I'm like, okay, I usually am able to, I'm picking up the clues here. I'm like back and forth. I was on the edge of my seat, but I didn't see it coming. Threw me for a loop. Seriously. I am like, all right now. Woo.
All right, so for those who don't know, Behind Her Eyes is a Netflix series, 6 episodes, British show, and it talks about, or it seems to talk about this guy who takes care of his wife, who seems to be a little cuckoo, but and then he falls for a co-worker,
has an affair.
All hell breaks loose.
Right.
Now, for me, I will say I enjoy watching things where, like the title suggests, Behind Her Eyes. So everything is visual. It's expressions on people's faces. You can read between the lines, and I love that kind of acting. I like watching shows like that, and this definitely agree with me. I mean, I was like, I ain't see it coming.
Right.
I was thrown. I was like, oh hell no.
But Michelle, there were some clues after you watched it, and then when you went
once
back,
you get to the end,
right?
Yeah.
And then
There's some clues.
Oh yeah, and so I picked up these clues, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Oh, but
all I know is this: when I watched it and that bomb dropped, I was in there like, you see that? Did you see that? mind you, I'm the only person watching it, but I'm talking about people over here. Like, did we just collectively see what we just saw just now? Okay. Because I was like, this is crazy. But I literally had to. It's very rare. I haven't seen anything that I had to sit with for a couple of days. Like,
And
after
stop.
I saw it, I was
It just made you stop, right? It made me
Yes,
stop.
it did.
And it made me,
Yeah.
I had to process it. I had to think of the steps. And then I went back and I thought, okay, wait a minute, hold on. So the little droplets of the clues that we talked about, I had to play that back in my mind. And I'm like, and there,
Yeah. And let me tell you, look, the moral of the story is
watch it.
don't let hoes in your house.
The moral of the story
'Cause
is
people
watch it.
watch it. But I mean, it's a fantastic show. The characters are I feel like well developed. They're meaty. They're like, oh, okay. You don't know who to root for.
I was just about to say that you're rooting
like,
for them all. It's like at certain points you're rooting for this one, you're rooting for the wife, you're rooting for the husband, and you're even rooting for the temptress.
But
I mean,
but
what?
I mean, I feel like, you know, it's easy to be like, you don't know what goes on with people. So if you see David, the husband, and Louise, the co-worker, get together, and you're thinking, wait a minute, oh, he's just out here wilding out, just doing his thing. But then you see his home life, and you're like, wait a minute. Not that that's ever a reason.
But you still feel, but the wife
yeah.
sucked me in.
You still feel for him.
But
yeah.
I felt for him. But she sucked me in, the wife, and then the way that the story unfolded, you were like, I was like, oh yeah, he's treating her bad. But again, that was
It could have gone either way. Like the way that it was so well written. You normally
figure it out.
I've had the experience of watching. Yeah, before you even get to it, you're like, oh, okay, I know what's gonna happen here, and that's exactly what happens. And then, you know, I've seen things where it doesn't make sense. Like there's no the story doesn't line up. There's just random things put into the story. You're like, what? Where? What? But this was so well written. I mean, I was like, I couldn't get to the next episode fast enough, and I just thought. I left there feeling like I'm probably gonna watch this again.
Oh, so that's like, what I was about to say. I am definitely gonna watch it again. I feel like there was so much. It was so rich. The characters were, like you said, very well developed, and it kept me on the edge of my seat. So I'm like, and to have things that make you think. After you finish them for a few days, I sat with it. I was like, it surprised me. To be surprised is so refreshing.
I'm still sitting with it, and I'm like, I watched it. I've watched it a while now, like, and I'm still like, oh, okay.
I just finished it, and I'm like, whoa, and we're talking about it, and I'm still talking about it, and I'm still thinking about it, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. But you don't want to give away spoiler alerts, so we won't.
No, I'm not saying anything else, but I'm just saying.
But you guys should definitely watch it. Run to your computer or your TV, turn on Netflix, and watch Behind Her Eyes. It is fantastic.
Fantastic. Cheers
to we drink together
eyes. Wait, no, I'm shouting them out. Cheers, Behind Her Eyes.
Cheers to Behind Her Eyes.
That's right. And cheers to we meet.
And cheers. Yeah, cheers to we drink together.